Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It's Miss Arneson here, and we're doing all of our school online this year. So I'm making a little video to introduce myself because I know there's going to be some new freshmen that I haven't met. And this video will also help you if you are, well, I mean, everybody, because we're doing a lot of things differently this year because it's all online. So the first thing I wanted to tell you about myself is who I am, and this is my family. This is my family, though, with that snap face app where it changes your gender. So this is my daughter Memoria as a man. This is my husband, Mr. Arneson, as a woman. And then this is me as a man. And at first, I thought I was like a really ugly man. And I was like, thank goodness I'm a woman. But then I posted a picture online and people were like, no, we would date you. You're cute. And I was like, for real? So maybe someday I will change genders and see if that changes how people treat me or something. I don't know. All right, let's get started. Okay, I don't know. If you were in my class, you would learn a lot about me for the year, a lot about me. But because we're online, we have to kind of like change this a little bit, and I just get to pick a few things to talk about. So I picked my nails. If you know me from the past, you know that I'm obsessed with my nails. This is how they looked when I very first started doing them. So they were like super teeny and not very long and nice. And I worked on them for like, I don't know, 5 years I've been doing my nails or something like that. It's a long time. And they got pretty long for a little while. But if I live my life and I do things like be a science teacher and a mom and go swimming and stuff, I can't have nice nails. So this is really the length that they normally are. So this summer, which is super weird because I've never done it before, I've never had fake nails in my life. I got fake nails, but now they are nice and long. And so these are my nails right here. I do nail art. I love doing nails. It's like my creative outlet for things. A couple of other things about me. I'm obsessed with my family, which is why I put those pictures on the last slide. Mr. Arneson teaches social studies at Las Montañas, so you'll probably have him too. So we're together like all the time and we love each other a lot. And then we also have a 14-year-old daughter named Memoria, and she's going to be going to Centennial, of course, online Centennial, unless we actually get to go in someday, which we all hope for because in-person school is better. You can see how long my nails are right now. I've got like this really pretty blue color on them with an accent nail that is metallic, but you can't see the details online. I'm sorry. If you could see it in real life, your jaw would drop. So the first thing I wanted to tell you about is that our science classes have changed this year. If you were here last year, you know that we had a different numbering system because you were taking 300 level classes as a freshman. This year we have 100 level is going to be the freshman classes, and that's when you're going to learn about biology. Last year it was integrated, so you would learn about biology mixed through the whole year. Now, when you're a freshman, you will take 6 biology terms, 6 biology flavors or little mini classes, and that'll make up your biology credit for high school. 200 levels are for the sophomores. That's earth and space science. And juniors is physical science, 300 level classes. And we do offer a couple of electives for science. Those are 500 level. If you want to take a science elective, there's one about um, dissecting, which we can't really do online. But there's one about dissecting. There's one about um, science fiction. I really want to teach the science fiction one. We would watch science fiction movies and stuff. So talk to me about that if you want to do it. Another note about the numbers of the science classes, if the end of the number is odd, Mr. Mack's teaching that class. If the end is even, I'm teaching it. So like his freshman biology class, the first one is called 101. Mine is 102. Then our next one would be like his is 111 and mine would be 112. So that's how you can tell if you're signing up for classes, if you're in Mr. Mack's class or mine. These are some pictures that I just put on here to make sure you guys know what the different science titles of classes mean. So biology is going to be life science. That's studying everything on the planet that's alive. from little teeny cells, like this is one type of cell that it's showing you in the orange color, and then this is another type of cell, probably a little bacteria that it's showing you in this other color. This to me looks like maybe it's intestines or something. This is an electron microscope picture. We use the microscope a lot in science for biology because that's what we're looking at as cells and DNA that's in cells, and so we have to look at really teeny little things, but we can also zoom out and look like at the whole planet and talk about the Earth as an ecosystem. This middle picture is the Eskimo Nebula. This is in an Earth and space science arena where we would be talking about like the different parts of the Earth, so like plate tectonics, but then we're also going to talk about some big things in space, like, well, how did the universe get here? That's a really fun topic. That's probably my favorite science of these three is Earth and space science. The juniors will be taking physical science. That's looking at the laws of everything that's around you. So like this is a mini Rube Goldberg machine. You push these dominoes, they knock over this ball. Right now the ball has potential energy, but once it starts moving, it will have kinetic energy. And so we would study like, well, how do all of these forces play together to make the world look like it does around us? And physical science at Las Montañas is also going to include chemistry because there's not very many chemistry requirements now in the New Mexico standards. So I just wanted you guys to know that chemistry will be right in here with physical science, but there aren't very many chemistry classes required by New Mexico anymore. All right, we're going to look in a Google Classroom because there's two options for you this year. You're either going to be doing your classes in Google Classroom and then Canvas. I think there's a couple of teachers teaching Canvas, but mostly the math classes are going to be on Canvas. So let's go look at a Google Classroom really quick so I can show you at least what mine are going to look like and some of the things that are going to be required in all the Google Classrooms. Okay, so when you log into your Google account, you know how you see yourself on the side. You can log into your Gmail, and then you'll see yourself or whatever picture you have, your letter of your name if you don't have a picture, and then you have the 4 or the 9 squares over here. Those are circles. I don't know why I said squares. If you click on that, one of the options you can choose is Google Classroom, and that's how you get to Classroom if you were like in your Gmail or something. And then you have to sign up for your classes. You should already be signed up for your classes, and so they should already be on here. And I can help you do that if you're not sure how. So call me. My phone number is 575-635-9992. I'll get you set up. Here is the class that I've done the most work on. So this is the one I'm going to open up. But you'll have a class, and it should say Term 1 when you're in Term 1. When you finish your Term 1 classes, you move on to your Term 2 classes. I don't have any Term 2 prepared because we just learned that we're doing this a few days ago, so I'm not ready for Term 2 yet. All right, so this is the number of the class, so you can tell this is a biology class because it's a 100 level. You can tell it's my class because it's got an even number at the end. And it says we're taking this in Term 1, and it is called Survival of the Fittest. Okay, so you'll have different classes on different topics. This is just to show you there should be a number, there should be the term number, and then there should also be the title of the class so that you know what you're doing. Google automatically opens you to the Stream tab, but I'm going to try to put nothing in the Stream tab because honestly I think it'll just be confusing because when you guys are doing Term 1, I'm going to be making my Term 2 classes. So this will be all outdated. It won't have new information for you. So don't look at the Stream. Go to the classwork. And then you'll see the work organized by week. So in week 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you need to complete. The due date is over here, so that should be really nice and easy for you guys to like organize yourself. And then if you click on any of these assignments, which I know if you've worked on Google Classroom, you're like, I'm totally used to this, Miss Arneson. But basically you can go to View Assignment. If you have a teacher tab, it'll show you the student work. But for you, it'll just show you this assignment. And then basically you follow the directions that are right here and you open these things and you just do what it says. I think Google Classroom is really easy because the assignments are linked right there and the directions are also included. Okay, I'm going to go back because this assignment for the introduction isn't very exciting. It doesn't have very much going on. And you're doing it right now if you're watching this video. Okay, So I'm going to go to lesson 1 because this has some common threads that you're going to see in all of your classes. And I'm going to click on it, like I'm going to go to the actual assignment. Okay, this one is a bigger assignment. So Mr. Martinez has asked us, we're not doing like easy peasy kind of stuff like we did last year when school got out early. We just went online. We're supposed to actually give you 3 to 4 hours of work per week, and to make sure that that work is following the standards and everything, because you guys have to graduate. So we need to get you in your credits so you can pass your tests and meet all your graduation requirements. So this is going to be a lot more complicated than last year. But if you follow the directions, it shouldn't be too much. Also, you can call your teachers at any time. Okay, so at the top, we're going to number our lessons. So this is lesson 1. Guess what? You do lesson 1 before lesson 2. You know, that's easy pointer there. What is evolution? Myths and misconceptions about evolution in TED Ed. So what I've done is I have an essential question in each of my lessons. So you need to be able to answer the question, what is evolution, when you're done with this lesson. There's going to be as many right answers as there are students in the classroom, because there's a lot of different ways to explain it. Here are some directions that are written out, but there's also another document that's going to be in all of your classes. So the teachers decided, and Mr. Martinez wants us to do this, that we want to have something that's the same in every single class. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a math class or a science class or an art class. You're going to have this document that when you open it, it's color-coded. So I'm just going to open this one for you. It has a lot of the same directions that are in the Google Classroom tab right here. But here, it's all in one document, and you can see it, and it will tell you the directions for like the different parts of this class. So the engage part is probably going to be the shortest part of your lesson. It's kind of like a warm-up. Okay, the explore is going to be part where you're learning stuff. The explain is going to be where you kind of give us some feedback about what you understand. The elaborate is going to where we learn more, and then evaluate is going to be where you turn something in or take a quiz, or you have to answer questions in a video so that we can tell if you learned something. So this is going to be like your evidence to show us what you learned. So you can always look at that. That will be in all of mine. I don't know if other teachers are doing this, but I'm putting how many minutes I think it should take you to do an assignment. So like if you go to this elaborate part and you've already spent 30 minutes on it, I think this whole entire section should just take you 30 to 40 minutes. So if you're still stuck and you've been taking time on it, that's when you should call me for sure, because I can help you get through it faster, because we shouldn't be doing more than 3 to 4 hours of work for science or for social studies per week. We've been asked only to give you that little amount of work. So if it's taking you too long, it's probably because the directions aren't clear, or like it's just something you've never done before and you're not sure how to do it. So call me up and I'll help you walk through it, because it should not be taking you forever to do these things. They should be easy going, and if they're not, then it's my job to make sure that it's easy for you and that you understand it. So definitely reach out to me. Teachers are supposed to have office hours. My office hours are basically like all day, every day, but like if you call me after 8, I will not answer you, because I am a morning person and I get up at 5 and I do not stay up at night. Well, I do, but I'm watching TV and I'm not going to talk to you at that time. No, I'm just kidding. If that's really a time you need to call me, I'll probably answer my phone, even though that's crazy. All right, so you just follow these directions. You'll open this up, like this one says, open the document called Myths and Misconceptions. So you would find it Myths and Misconceptions. There's 2 things. This one is a document. This is a YouTube video, so definitely you're going to open the document. So you open this up. Then in here, there's more directions on what you need to do, okay? So you go back and it says, read the statements in the document as you go through. Decide if you think it's true or false. Put a true T or an F false. Okay, so you could just follow along in those directions. I'm trying to make them as simple as possible, because I have taken online classes and when the directions are not clear, it's a real pain in the butt. All right, so let's go back to the classroom interface that has everything by week. Okay, so these assignments are all just listed by week, and you just make sure you do the ones that are in the week we're in. Okay, you can go ahead if you want to. If you finish this class and you finish it in 1 week and it takes you only that much time to finish it instead of 5 weeks, then I'll put your grade into schoolmaster and you'll already pass this term and you just move on to the next one. So that is what it looks like inside of here. If you go to people, you can email me as your teacher. If you go to grades, you'll be able to see your assignments. Because I don't have any students yet, you can't see any assignments, but you guys will. When you click on grades, it'll show you what you have in the class. All right, let's go back to the little PowerPoint, and I'm going to speed this up because I want it to go fast enough so that you guys don't have to watch this video forever. From current slide. Okay, so we looked in a Google Classroom. Here's some basic information that you really need to know because it's how you're going to be successful. You're going to get weekly grades. So every week, your assignments will be due by Thursday. Sometimes if it's a quiz or something, it's due before then because like I want you to finish the quiz before you go on to the next thing. But on Fridays, like if you haven't turned everything in, I'm going to put zeros in. So it's going to show you like you have a 0, your grade will drop, and it'll give you a notification that you didn't turn in your assignment. I'm not doing that because I'm not accepting late work or anything. I'm doing that because it will help you be like, oh shoot, I didn't do my assignment this week, or I did it, but then I didn't turn it in, so I need to turn it in because right now there's nothing there. Late work, there's not going to be a penalty for late work. That's why I put this bunny here to remind me to say that. You don't get a penalty for late work this year. You just need to make sure that you keep up with the work because if you get too far behind, it's so easy to give up because it just seems like there's too much to do. On Sunday, I have to report to the administrators like Mr. Martinez and Mr. Estrada, the case managers, and the other staff members what your grade is. So it's kind of like we're counting attendance. Did you do what you were supposed to that week? Then you get a green color and you're good to go. If you kind of did some stuff, you get a yellow, which means that you're at risk of failing. And if you get a red, if I have to send them red in your name, then that means that you didn't do anything that week. And then they will bug you as well. Okay, so I have to bug you every week, but if you don't do what you're supposed to, also other people are going to start bugging you every week. So please do your work. Your overall grade is going to be based on 80% of your your weekly assignments will be in your final grade, and 20% of your final grade will count from your final exam. The final exam will be a test. The reason I don't want you to get out of practice of test taking is because we don't know if they're going to have us take all those normal tests at the end of this year like they usually do but didn't last year. We don't know what's going on. So we're going to keep practicing tests like we have to take them for meaningful reasons. Okay, this is for the term. You get weekly grades and an overall grade for the term. Now, just because you pass a term doesn't mean you get a credit. In order to get a credit, you have to pass all the terms for that grade level. So like in science, if you're taking biology, you have to pass a 100, a 101 level class, a 110 level class, 120, 30, 40, and 50, because we have 6 terms that you have to pass for each science credit. Social studies for New Mexico history, there's only 2 terms. For government, there's only 4 terms. For US and for world history, there's 5 terms for each science class. Math is all over the place. Like sometimes there's 6 credits required, sometimes there's 2. It just depends on how much they have to squish into that level of class. If you have any questions about your credits, I don't really have that information. You need to ask Miss Dunbar, or Miss Parker would be a good person to ask as well. Okay. Your grade, like what do you have right now in class, will be on the Google Classroom. But if you're wanting to know, like, well, what's your final grade for biology? Did you get your term credit for biology? That's going to be in Power School. You can also get directions for how to get onto Power School by calling the office if you haven't ever had an account on there before. If you already had an account, you probably just log in with your same password. Okay. There's a lot of time periods going on in here, and 2020 has been a weird year so far. So let's look at some things that you need to know about the time period. So we are in the school year 2020-21. The fall will be the 2020 part of the school year. The spring will be the 2021 part, and those are called semesters. So we don't know if we're going to be going back into school and we're going to have a hybrid model, if we're going to be able to fully go back to school, or if we're going to be online all year. But these are the time periods you need to remember to keep yourself on track. Okay, so the semester won't end until December. And in that time, you'll be getting half credits for the classes that you take and pass, for the terms that you take and pass. So you will have 9-week periods. This is what we're required by law to report back to the state. you're going to have 2 terms in each 9-week period. So that puts you at 8 terms per school year. So we're only on term 1 right now. Once everybody finishes term 1, we move on to term 2. And those dates are on the school calendar, which you can find on the website. One thing that we're saying this year, because it's such a weird year and 2020 has been difficult for everyone, it's like a pit of despair. We are not going to require you to finish every term within the designated time for that term. So let's say that you finish almost everything for term 1, and that's your class 202. If you finish almost everything in 202, but then like you have a family member that gets the COVID or something, and so you guys are all quarantining and your internet access isn't available and you can't finish it, that's okay. When you're able to get back on the internet, you need to finish it. The good news is that there's 8 terms in a year, and you only have to pass 6 terms to get a science credit. So that leaves you a little wiggle room for emergencies. That being said, if you get far behind, it is so hard to catch up because you feel like you're behind everyone else, so try to stay on time. I will bug you, the staff at school will bug you, you'll be bugged a lot to do your work. That's actually my next tab. Okay, doing online work is challenging. As a student, I hated doing it. Like, I could not stand doing it. So I totally understand where a lot of you are coming from. Some of you are going to find it easy, but for the most part, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So we need to communicate at least 1 time per week. And that's with every teacher. You need to talk to me once per week. If you have Mr. Arneson, me and Mr. Arneson 1 per week. If you have Miss Parker, all 3 of us per week. Everybody you have to contact. It is a state mandate. We're not just making this up for fun because we want to be calling you all the time. The state has said we need our teachers and our staff to be in contact with our parents and our students, or this is not going to work. And so you can call me, you can text me, you can send me an email, you can talk to me in Google Classroom. If you would like to train a raven to fly to my house and drop off a message, you just need to make sure that that raven is coming once per week. But we have to talk. Otherwise, I have to tell other people that you're not contacting me, and then they're going to be bugging you as well. So please make sure that you contact us. That's going to be one of the ways that you stay on track and one of the ways you get your stuff done so you can get your credit, so you can move on from high school and do the other things you want to do in your life. Okay, this is the last thing. Here are my tips. On Monday, log in and look at what you need to do for the week. Remember, there's going to be 3 to 4 hours per class. So if you're taking 4 classes, that's 3 to 4 hours per class, but that's over the week, not per day, because that would be like a little bit impossible. So look at your 5Es or look at what's due that week in the Google Classroom and kind of just see what you have to do. Then you can decide kind of like, what do you want to do? Maybe you really like science and you're going to save science class for Thursdays because that's the last day of the week, but you know, since you like science, that's going to be the easiest. And you do English at the beginning of the week because grammar is something that you struggle with. I mean, it really doesn't matter how you designate your time. You just need to make sure you do it. I would probably, if it was me, I would say like, okay, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'm going to do science. And then from 11 to my lunchtime, I'm going to work on social studies. But you need to designate time. You could do it as Mondays is for science, Tuesdays is for social studies. That would be kind of hard because you probably have more than 4 classes, most of you. Some of you will only have 4 at a time. Okay, I think you should also get ready for the day. But look, instead of your school day starting at 8 or 9 in the morning, you could start it whenever you want. If you want to start your school day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then you can do that. If you're starting it when you get off of work, you can do that. If you want to do work on the weekends, all the assignments are available to you and you can do it on the weekends. But just make sure that you designate that time. Get ready. Okay, get up, put on real clothes. If you are working in your pajamas, yes, that's more comfortable. I put on real clothes so I have my dress and my necklace and I showered and did my hair and stuff because it just makes me feel like, I don't know, more routined, and that's like real life because working online is not like real life to me. So make sure you eat breakfast, make sure you brush your teeth, and do those things that you normally do in the morning before school because it'll help get you in the right mindset. And I say make it a goal to contact 2 teachers per day. Those could just be questions, but if you do that, that's going to set you up for success.
For 30 minutes without recording?
Hey, you guys, I just talked to myself a little bit because I wasn't recording and I forgot. So let me just send you this last piece of information. I would love to get to know you if I don't already know you, or if I do know you, to have an update on like your summer and what's going on in your life. Like I know from Facebook that some people had like little cousins born, and I would love to see a picture of your cousin. So if you can make a little video and tell me about yourself, or write me a little paragraph with a picture or something and send it to me, I would be very excited. But the reason I put the school appropriate note on here is because I know that there was this newscaster, and he apparently was in front of his bathroom mirror, and he had like his shirt and tie on, but he didn't have any pants. And so he was showing his booty on the TV. That's why I'm saying school appropriate. Make sure that your surroundings are appropriate for school, because I don't want to see anybody's booty. Okay, so anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you have a good day. Alrighty. What? Wednesday and Thursday. Freshman will come. What? What? Okay, we'll go. Right. Oh, it's still recording?
So you have to record it just every time.